Alright, this is a replay review for KillingDaMoob. KillingDaMoob is a new Advent player and looking for some feedback on his gameplay and what are some tips for Advent in this current patch. So, haven't made a video for a while. I would say this patch is a little stale for me in terms of fives, so haven't been playing as much. But you know what? This makes for, I think, some pretty good learning guides. Kind of look at what someone new to Advent is doing and what maybe decisions I would make differently at a given time. So let's get started. Okay, so let's see here. First things first, queuing up the income tracks.
We are exiles no
building
longer.
Halcyon, which I agree with, so nice idea there. A little slow on the building of the labs, not a big deal. Queuing up a lot of disciples right off the bat. That's aggressive and interesting decision. So I like the fact that you already shifted your ratio from fighters to bombers right off the bat. You could just sell this side item. You don't need it for the Halcyon or pretty much, I think, any ship for the Advent. Gives you some extra money in the beginning, so it's kind of useful. Alright, so the first thing I will already say that is an interesting option, probably not the correct one, is going to this volcano. So you got kind of lucky because this volcano actually has a commerce credit income rate. But if it didn't, this is just a complete waste of time in the beginning, because first of all, you're gonna have to tie up your initial research with volcano colonization. You're not even gonna get it in time in terms of by the time you clear this out for you to colonize, you're playing Reborn, so you're not full clearing anyway. Whoops. So as a result, all you have to do as Reborn is just kill the siege frigate and move on. If you're Wrath, at least you're full clearing, you might be able to get this in time to basically line it up with the volcano research, but then even then, I still wouldn't agree with going for the volcano early. If you choose to path to it, I mean, I could kind of see an argument for it where you're just completely pathing towards your ally to preparation for a 2v1. But we'll see how this goes. I think the better play is to just go for the Roid here, especially because it has a derelict that you could collect. And since you're already going for military 1 as Reborn in the support position, as Reborn, you have this derelict reclamation. It's really, really useful because basically you collect derelicts super fast, and if you get lucky and there's a bunch of derelicts around you, you can really turbocharge your early game with this specific tech. So this is a tech I would pick up pretty early if I see a derelict, which you do over here. Now there doesn't seem to be any other derelicts that you've scouted for a bit, so yeah, you end up going here, you probably won't get it in time anyway, so maybe not worth going directly to... I would research military 1, just a tier opening, but I don't know if I would get anything else here. Now if you do choose to get something else, which is the supply, that's fine too. In which case, what you are basically going to need to prep for is a sort of double expansion path thing. Because the whole point of opening up this extra supply as support is so that you could build a secondary expedition fleet of sorts. And what I mean by secondary expedition fleet is, suppose I start expanding, as I mentioned, I would expand over here. I would park my Halcyon in the derelict as soon as it arrives to the grab well, send the bombers onto the siege frigate, colonize it right away. The bombers should kill the siege frigate in time, and then your disciples and your Halcyon, as they're clearing this up, your colony frigate and your disciples can basically move here. You can have a second colony frigate that is going to go here with your Halcyon to move to this Roid. So basically you are going to split path, right? Your Halcyon kind of expands from here to here to here. Your disciples span from here to here, okay? Now, you might say like, wait, what about this volcano? Yeah, that's the whole point. You'll notice I'm actually ignoring this volcano for quite some time. And the reason why is because for Advent, an early volcano is useful for one thing. If you want to build another capital ship. Reds are very nice for Advent because in early game, your two best capital ships for essentially fighting is going to be the Halcyon and Radiance. And both of them require red, and you don't get any red from your home planet. In fact, you get this useless yellow. Okay? So if you're getting an early volcano, you might get a little lucky where you might get a white in your very first exotic thing. So in which case, once again, we're going to talk about like the research pathing for that as well. But you can also maybe get lucky from like, let's say the Roids. Now in this specific instance, you actually have a Colonize right here from the Derelict, one blue. So that's actually perfect because then you can actually get two Halcyons, right? You have your starting, and you can get a second Halcyon from the survey of your volcano. So it'd be really, really good to, if that was the case. But that doesn't seem to be what you're going for. So, and the reason why it doesn't appear to be what you're going for is because you're opening with a lot of Disciples. And if you open with a lot of Disciples, you don't have the money to afford that second capital ship early. So it's either bank for that capital ship if you're going for the volcano, or you don't go for the volcano, you go more Disciples, and you kind of play a little bit more of an econ, like early sort of rapid expansion game. Okay? But going here is definitely the wrong choice. You either go here, and then towards your ally, or you go here and double expand, basically. Your Halcyon goes towards your ally, your Disciples kind of clear out some of the back stuff here. Now, you didn't know this, but if you look over here, this is another Roid, super easy for Disciples to clear. Ship Graveyard, super easy for Disciples to clear, so it would have been bang on the best decision. Even going here first, it can work out for you in this specific instance if you decided to Disciple and kind of recap back here in this way by going Disciples here, 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 here. And none of these you are really full clearing except for, well, actually you can full clear these Roids, this space, but you obviously don't full clear the one with the Derelict because later on you're going to set a cap here to cap Derelict anyway. So yeah, that is some thoughts about the early game. Also, if you're playing support, this specific shrine is going to give you 25% extra research in your civil, and lets you go up Civ 2 right off the bat. And Civ 2 for Advent early on is really nice if you plan on powering Eco, because it has two key technologies. It has the orbital extraction, and it has the Sanctuary Spire. Okay, both of these are very, very good in Tier 2. Kind of like one of the main reasons to go Tier 2, I would say. Now, you can also make an argument that this is also really neat, especially because you have a lot of kind of cheapo planets. So you can spread culture, get the +3 surface mining crystals, and then start boosting some of these, so you can have a pretty nice econ from the surface, in terms of surface mining game as well. So yeah, lots of different, I would say, economic options that you could be doing, that you're kind of missing out on. So definitely I would look to, if you're playing support, pick this up early. So this is just the expansion phase, not much to say here. We'll speed this up a little bit.
Our forces have engaged the enemy.
And you'll see that because you kind of chose the route you did, you're missing out on a lot of nice eco snowbally techs. The influence, for example, to reveal to take advantage of miners as they're revealed. You already have pirates, so you can already start saving up banking for a boarding crew if you went this early. The 2 credit income, once again, divination early if you're going for the volcano as well. I don't think you end up getting any of these anytime soon. And as you can see here, you full clear this, and you still didn't have, you still had to wait on your colonizer to like actually cap this. And now the next thing you're researching is the Arctic Embrace, which,
Mining upgrade
once again, you're
complete.
just slowing down all your economy technologies, especially this 2 credit ones, which you could have just been
Harmony
making
research
money
complete.
already.
Hostility
So,
research complete.
because of this
A
route
colonizable
pathing,
planet has been
you're
discovered.
kind of in this really weird research path. And you also
Our
got Arctic
forces
way
have
too early,
engaged the enemy.
too. Looks like I mean, but that's totally fine. It's not a big, like it's negligible in terms of difference.
Hostility
And
research complete.
get this, the commerce
Another
credit
planet
comes before
joins the
this,
Unity.
because
Harmony
this
research
is going to be
complete.
just so much more handy in terms of like the extra civilian slots and so forth early. I mean, you are getting some surface mining, so I guess. But 0.3. Look, you're making right now. You got the ice, right? You got 2 points in the ice already, and even with the ice income crystal income kicking in, this is just 0.4 crystals per second, 0.4 crystals versus 2 credits. 2 credits can buy the 0.4 and still have excess left over. So yeah, definitely just get this earlier. And then also, you'll want to pick, since you picked up the volcano, you want to get divination ASAP too.
A colonizable
All
planet
right.
has been discovered.
This game, I see a lot of mistakes all
Our
over the place from
forces
your
have
team as
engaged
a
the
whole.
enemy.
I'm not going to comment on
Harmony
them
research
because
complete.
it's going to easily ramp up
Commerce
the
upgrade
runtime of the
complete.
video, and that's not the
Another
point.
planet joins the Unity.
So yeah, you'll notice now you're kind of like doing this pathing where you're backwards capping with everything with your entire fleet. So you're taking kind of like this early aggressive pathing towards your ally, and now you're kind of like looping back, which means you're going to be quite delayed by the time you get to your allies' front line, which was the entire point of kind of going in this direction in the first place. So yeah, your ally also went for a aggressive kind of like choke here, but then also did the double back as well. So overall, it just seemed like the team had this side, your side had a very confused idea of what it wanted to do for the early game. But what I would have committed to is either saying, okay, we're going to 2v1 push early, so I'm going to expand towards my ally with my primary fleet and then back cap later, or I'm going to take a slower route, build up my eco, and so I start from this roid to here, to here, to here, to here, and then go towards my ally from there, right? So yeah, I think either of those are viable, but this is definitely not viable in terms of how you should be doing your expansion. And once again, this could split. These are so easy to take for 10 disciples and a colony frigate that this is just way overkill. You could have either saved money on the disciples, you didn't need this many disciples then for your expansion, or you use that many disciples because you are splitting. And you can see here, you got the supply research, and you're just using 19 extra supplies in that supply research, and that 19 is totally pointless. It's not adding anything to your early game. So really, it was just a waste of money right now. Okay? And you also researched, and you notice you opened up miners. You see this colony nanite, so you're missing so much opportunity by being able to go forward with your Halcyon. And on top of that, being able to go forward, you claim this much earlier, you can set up a factory here and start being very aggressive early. So yeah, there's a ton of different options here that you could have taken. Alright, going for the culture early, that's a decent play. I would say that the 5% extra income, it's not huge, but having the culture push kind of getting started is, I think, okay if you're going tier 2, because eventually you're going to pick this up anyway for the culture. So that's kind of alright. And I actually think this shield regen is, if you could get the culture pushed all the way up to your ally, it's actually kind of a little bit underestimated. because it gives you
Exotics have
actually
been
shield
unveiled by
regen
our
in combat, which
scryers.
is kind of nice, I
Done
think.
and dusted.
But some people don't like it.
Exotics have been
All right.
unveiled by our scryers.
And now
Scryer
here it
visions
looks
have
like you're
revealed
kind
an
of confused
unexpected
about
bonus.
what to research because you
Harmony
started researching
research
primordial
complete.
embrace.
Another
You have no
planet
primordial
joins
planets
the
anywhere near
unity.
you. So yeah, like waste of research time,
A
waste of
colonizable
research.
planet has been
You should
discovered.
no, that's not an
Exotics
advent
have
thing.
been
That's just a
unveiled by our
overall gameplay
scryers.
thing. And
Exotics
you're
have
going
been
tier 2.
unveiled by our
And like I
scryers.
said, the most important thing in
An
tier 2,
allied capital
orbital
ship has been
extraction,
destroyed.
sanctuary spire.
Auction
You don't have either
is
of these
underway.
anywhere close.
Commerce
So,
upgrade complete. Harmony research
probably not
complete. Exotics
best
have been unveiled by our scryers.
Thing to do, you should
Hostility
just get,
research
you should
complete.
zero, like kind of beeline these ASAP. I like that you're surveying, but if you're surveying early game, what you should be doing,
failed to place a
you put a
bid.
point in this to get the extra 5% for selling exotics, and you sell some exotics to
Done and
speed up
dusted.
your early game.
Hostility
Okay?
research complete.
You don't need this many
Exotics
exotics
have been
because you're
unveiled
not
by
going to
our
be building
scryers.
this many capital
Exotics
ships
have been
this
unveiled
early.
by
Why?
our
You don't have
scryers.
the money for it.
Harmony research complete.
Okay. Now you might say, well, then I'm stockpiling these exotics to use them later. Well, if you're going to do that, then you should be researching stuff that can use them ASAP, which you
Exotics
don't
have
have.
been unveiled by our
Because
scryers.
you don't have, for example,
An
sanctuary
allied
spires
world
that are
has
using the
fallen
whites.
to the enemy.
You
Our forces have engaged the
don't
enemy.
have the economy set up to go
Harmony
cap
research
ship
complete.
right now.
A colonizable
So,
planet has been discovered.
Yeah, as I said, sell some of
Another
these.
planet joins the
Especially the
unity.
blues and the yellows.
Planet
You're not going to
item
need that
ready.
many raptures because of the fact that you're up against a Vasari player. And then on top of that, this Vasari player at this point, you notice at 20 minutes in, he's going mass Conrax. Okay? So this is basically, if a Vasari player goes mass Conrax against an Advent, this means it's an all-in. You can think of it as that. The reason why is because once the Advent player gets Disciple Guardians, especially now in this current meta with Unity abilities, all of these just become completely dead weight supply. They get completely wrecked by Disciple Guardians. So, yeah, Raptures are like the worst thing against Assailants. So yeah, the blues and the yellows, you could definitely sell some of those. I do like to hold on to the whites because I would like to put up a Sanctuary Spire here, and then save one for a Radiant, so you could probably sell the fourth white. Okay? So that's just some food for thought. Or you could have gotten the second house here, in which case, that's also not a terrible move. But yeah, you have definitely some excess float here that you could be using towards anything. Towards researching Guardians, towards getting Shield Burst. But once again, you're kind of like stalling in the military research because you surveyed all of these, so they ate up all your money, and now you're not using them for anything. You're also getting Silent Monitor. I never get this. Okay, it's just very blah. 15% metal. Metal is really not usually like what you care about. Instead, you could be getting extra extractors right now, which once again, you're kind of poor, so you're not able to afford them all yet. So yeah, you see here, missing them. Here, missing them. Here, you haven't maxed them out. Here, missing them. Here, missing them. And here, right? And speaking of investing in things that you're not gonna need, research rate X3, definitely don't do this. It's so expensive. And once again, yeah, you're researching faster, but you know what? You don't have the money to research, so you're not researching at all at this point at the military tree. So you have tier 2 military, but you might as well just have tier 1 at that point. Doesn't make any difference, right? So these are all things that you can tighten up. Influence, once again,
upgrade complete.
obviously start
Exotics
getting
have been
the Alexian
unveiled
one
by
to
our
start powering up
scryers.
your eco because
A
you are
colonizable
on
planet
support.
has been discovered.
So you really need to get your eco set up in the first 20 minutes ASAP.
Harmony
If you had the
research
derelict
complete.
tech researched for Advent, you could have, or Reborn technically, you could have collected this very juicy derelict here. Actually, this derelict's not that great. It's a level 2 derelict with 4 Harkas and only gives you 2. So, I guess it's whatever, but you're going here anyway, so yeah. I wouldn't have bothered trying to clear this out. I would have just sat, collected the derelicts. If you had the influence earlier, you could have had a boarding crew and gotten yourself a free Harker as well, which would have been kind of nice. So yeah, there's all of these little things that kind of, as you can see, you didn't do them early, so they kind of add up right now. So, all right, let's keep
Civilian
going.
structure complete. Mining upgrade complete.
Done and dusted.
Our forces have engaged the enemy.
And
An
if you're
allied
clearing
horde has
this
fallen to the enemy.
for XP,
Civilian
move
structure
here
complete.
as soon as you land in the grab wall, move your Halcyon forward. And your disciples, you're gonna lose a few now to Harkas, because Harkas will always focus fire your disciples, especially in an asteroid where you can't even kite the disciples away. So I
Exotics
don't
have been
think
unveiled by
clearing
our
this was
scryers.
the best
Civilian
idea, because you
structure
basically just
complete.
lost some
We are
disciples for nothing.
entertaining offers.
Alright. And let's take stock of the situation. So here you see that Chris is gearing up for a fight. This is a fight that he can't win, but no, he's doing it. So what I would do at this point is, it means that, hey, he's probably gonna start losing very quickly. Since he's taking a fight, he's already losing. You can tell he's taking it because he's moving his ships in instead of running his stuff away. Okay? So, what is one of the best things to about this patch for Advent? It makes them a little bit on the, I would say, too strong end. The new Unity powers. So you already have the Unity researched. You have this Focus Restore researched. You're not building any Unity temples yet. So once again, like you're getting stuff that you're not using and you're not able to use even. So just kind of like wasting both research and time, resources, all that stuff, right? And Unity definitely would have been the right play, because if you are Reborn, first of all, one of the best spells that wasn't even in this patch is 1 point in Carol Warnings, Map Hack, right? This ability isn't as good anymore because of the focus recovery rate changes. So it does cost a lot of focus. 75 is quite expensive, but I would still get a point of it, because this way you can kind of track where your opponents are going. What I would also do is max out Cleanse. And the reason why is because you basically want to start... You're already at tier 2 military. So you should be getting Guardians ASAP if you're going to tier 2 military as Reborn. And once again, you could fund the Guardian research by selling some of this. You're getting the Guardians, and you basically have Guardian Disciples, and you cleanse, and you keep your disciples very healthy against the only thing that your disciples are scared of, which is the egg AoE. Since you're only scared, that's the only thing your disciples are scared of, and cleanse means you are no longer scared of it. Okay? So nothing in his fleet will kill your Guardian Disciples fleet once you go Guardian Disciples. And then what you could just do is, since you're going Guardian Disciples, you can easily transition to Illuminators, and that will completely crush anything this Asari player is doing. Because this Asari player committed to Comrax. Comrax are kind of like this all-in commit, and I can show you, okay? Without, like, you could just take a quick look. Right? You can see here. Doesn't have that many. Well, actually, he is still floating a bunch of stuff. Because, once again, it's kind of like a pub, right? Getting some weird things here. But, yeah, Conrad, like, well, he's got some eco going. I guess it's not necessarily an all-in commit. He's only got 30 Conrads at 24 minutes. But anyway, he's going to have to transition off Conrax against your fleet. And if he doesn't transition properly in time, you're just basically going to beat everything he does. He tries to get caps, your Illuminators will beat it. He can't stay Conrax because your Disciples, Guardians can already clear them, right? He stays on Conrax, you stay Disciples until you completely wrecked all his Conrax. So, yeah, and later on, he just doesn't have good answers for Illuminator Guardian with Cleanse as Vasari. I just don't. I think this matchup, honestly, Vasari versus Advent is so lopsided in Advent's favor. I myself, I can't think of what he could be doing if you went that strat. But I don't think you did. Chris certainly isn't going for it. He's going for Tempests, which you should not do against Vasari unless you see Corvettes. So yeah, like I said, I would immediately be going for Cleanse because it should be very obvious. Just looking at if you skim over Chris's comp and the fact that he's fighting with a worse comp into over double his supply, so he's guaranteed to lose. So which means he's going to be dying very quickly. So you kind of like need to start fleeting to get to him so that he doesn't die.
An allied world has fallen to the enemy.
So alright.
Civilian structure complete. Logistics upgrade complete. Harmony research complete.
Another bidder
Okay, so you
has
do start
claimed
sending stuff
the
over.
auction. Done
And at this
dusted.
point, though, what you're
An
sending
allied
over
capital ship has been destroyed. Civilian structure complete.
maybe
Harmony research complete.
enough to hold as
Civilian
homeworld when he
structure
reinforces.
complete.
I don't think it would have been. I think just 30 Conrax alone probably beats. Well, it doesn't beat all of this, but it can pressure all of this quite a bit, especially if he just keeps sending, which he's gonna do. He decides to kind of backcap these two while kind of reinforcing from here and like basically saving up for reinforcements here. With the 2 nano, now you can see he's definitely all-inning on the Conrax.
Hostility
He has 2
research
nano
complete.
settlers here. So yeah, you are trying to stop this. This is obviously, I don't think I should need to tell you, but this obviously should look to you like it's not going to work. Why? He has regen bays, he has Gauss turrets, he has pulse guns, he has his Conrax coming back, he has phased missile platform, which admittedly it's not going to do much against your Halcyon, but overall, like I said, this is going to be a terrible fight, and you don't even have, once again, you don't have Guardians yet, right? You researched it. Are you queuing up any? You built one. Okay, well, and now you're going capitals spam against Conrax with only 1 Guardian. And why is this a bit of a problem? Because greater factories for Advent are quite expensive, 750 and 300 crystals. On top of that, I'm not sure, it looks like you're building 2 here. So you can see it's going to be a while for your capital ships to get out. It's going to be a while for more Guardians to get out. So overall, this just is not the right play. The right play would have been to actually have 3 or 4 light factories here, because you want to keep up with the Conrax spam in terms of production. And you just have your greater factory here, keep non-stop building Guardians to send to the front. And then eventually you can add a greater factory here to do your cap ships if you want. But you want to go cap ships once you have transitioned him off Conrax, and assuming you don't want to go Illuminators. Okay? Now, I think I would prefer Illuminators in the instance of Reborn, because, once again, you have Cleanse, which kind of helps out the Illuminators' main issue, which is they're squishy to AoE. And if you want, you could eventually start getting Rebirth, too. Or Resurrection for your Illuminators and Disciples, rather. Disciple Illuminators. So
Your
yeah.
influence is undeniable. You've made a wise
Okay,
acquisition.
let's take a look. So
Your
yeah, you
arguments are
realize that
compelling. I shall
you
stand
realize too
with
late
you.
that you can't take this fight, so
Your
now you both
influence
lose
is
Calcium
noted.
for free.
We have a
So-
deal.
We are hopelessly
Once again,
crippled.
kind of like, this is something you should have seen coming beforehand. As soon as you jumped in and you've seen this, you should know that you can't take this fight. Alright, so you're going for supply, Guardians, and you're still missing Shield Burst. Once again, 3 key techs in the Advent Tier 2 military. Guardians, supply, Shield Burst. Okay, so you do have 2 of them, but let's see how long
Item
when you
completion
start getting
confirmed.
Shield Burst.
All shall join the unity
Oh,
in time.
no. You're getting the one case of fleet supply
We are
when you're sitting at
entertaining
162
offers.
supply instead of getting shield burst. Once again, you're just getting stuff that you can't use.
Exotics have been
Same for this
unveiled by
tier
our
3
scryers.
civilian.
Exotics have
You
been
can't
unveiled
use
by our
this.
scryers.
You cannot
Logistics
use
upgrade
this.
complete.
So why are you getting it?
opted
It's
out of
such a
bidding.
waste of money.
Planet item ready. Hostility research complete.
Our minds awaken.
Somebody got
An
this
allied
Luxian
world
item
has
for
fallen
just
to the
one
enemy.
supply, for one
Shields
available one. That's great.
down!
Civilian structure complete.
So at this point, you guys are both in a bit of trouble because you guys took 2 bad fights back to back, lost your caps for free, and your current fleet, even if you try to 2v1 green at this point, you guys will lose against 66 Conrax. Okay? So, and it's not even, yeah, 35 Tempests against 66, and whatever you have against 66 Conrax, you guys will lose. Okay? Because all your raptures are hard countered by the Conrax. The main thing that the Conrax hard counter on the Haven side is mass raptures, actually, funny enough. But you didn't sell the exotics, so you decided, hey, I might as well do something with them. So you decided to go raptures, which isn't a terrible idea. You can go mass raptures after you force them to transition off. But yeah. And once again, as I said, you didn't have
Civilian
sanctuary
structure
fire. In fact, you don't even have any. You don't have these
Harmony
two, so you're
research
missing
complete.
so much economy.
Exotics have been unveiled
Okay,
by our
these two are
scryers.
very, very
An
cheap
allied
economy
capital ship
picks
has been
for
destroyed.
early econ.
Logistics upgrade complete.
Done and dusted.
Okay, well, this isn't your fault. This is just
Our
Chris once
minds
again,
awaken.
taking a fight he doesn't have
Civilian
to
structure
instead of waiting
complete.
for you.
The
But what I
Unity
like over
senses
here
that an
is
enemy has
you're
finished a
actually now
powerful warship.
going Mass Disciples. And this is the correct play against Mass Conrax, is Mass Disciples. With Guardians. But Mass Disciples is a start. So you're getting that. You got your you're starting to get Unity. And I don't know why you want recall. If you are gonna recall out of this fight, you've already lost your side horribly then. Because by the time for you to get all the way back there, Chris's homeworld is dead then at that point. So recall is, I feel like I'm repeating myself throughout this replay, another thing that you're getting that you don't need and you're not going to use.
You scallywags.
shall join
Orange
the
got a pretty
unity
fast
in
Titan
time.
for a public game. This is actually pretty impressive Titan span timing. So at this point, technically, you guys should have just lost, because neither you or Chris has anything that could stop Orange's Titan. Let me see where Orange is Titan if I recall correct. Yeah, somebody's Titan. Where the heck is the Titan anyway? Oh, what in the... Alright, well, Orange got a pretty decent Titan timing. But he built it all the way in the back line, so you're kind of in luck. Because if he built it over here, you guys are dead. Nothing you can get will stop the Anklia, a level 2 Anklia on time, to be able to go through here, kill off Chris, and probably kill you off too. Okay, so, yeah. He's also
Exotic
skilled
resources
in
have been
Reborn.
located by our survey teams.
Once again,
A new colony has been founded.
What
Military research
Orange
complete.
is doing.
Our fleet is
I
under
don't think I
attack.
need to say this.
Next time,
Banking
place
influence
a
too
bid.
much, so
Item
yeah.
completion confirmed.
obviously
We are without armor.
spend your influence. You could be getting anything. Boarding
Civilian
crews,
structure complete.
calling nanites for eco boost,
An
Aluxians,
allied world has fallen
etc.
to the enemy.
Right? So you could be having Aluxian credit income on all of these planets. You don't have any on any of them. So, but once again, that's stuff you should already know. So, at this point, you guys jump. This is good. You guys can win this fight. And what I like is you did get a Radiance that managed to stop a bunch of these from jumping away and trim down some of this Conrad fleet. So yeah, at this point you're actually in, if assuming Orange completely is AFK with his Titan, you're actually in
We are
decent shape.
entertaining offers.
An
Looks like
allied
Pink
world
is
has
coming
fallen to the enemy. Harmony
fight this
research
blob
team
of
complete.
defenses, so
Another
that's
bidder
also
has
good because
claimed the auction.
once again, if things
Hostility
kind of went
research
towards you,
complete.
probably would have been
Logistics
in a
upgrade
bit of trouble.
complete.
Phase jump underway.
An allied world has fallen to the enemy.
And
Harmony research
this
complete. Hostility
is
research complete.
not a fight you could
Shields
take.
down! Our armor is breached!
Why? Because your disciples are going to be great at killing these Conrax, but he has so many anti-disciple stuff here between the egg AoE, the pulse guns, well, he doesn't have jam weapons, but just general DPS over across the board against your disciples that this is going to be, and he has repair like these regen bays. This is going to be like a really costly fight because you have no guardians for your disciples yet. You also don't have cleanse to support your disciples. So this is going to be a super costly fight. And he's going to focus down all your caps. So even if you kill all of these Conrax, I would trade his 80 something Conrax. He's not going to lose 80 of them doing this for killing all your caps. I would take that trade at the Vasari. Because then he gets a bunch of XP, gets a bunch of derelicts, and so forth. And
Armor is compromised.
you're gonna
We won't
let's see.
last long.
And
We are
sure
severely
enough, this is
crippled.
what happens.
Our shields have failed. We're going down. Our ship is lost.
Our forces have engaged the enemy. Hostility research complete.
We are without armor. Shields offline. We're defenseless. We perish. Shields down. Unity, protect our crippled vessel. Our ship is lost.
And
An
as I
allied
said,
capital
this
ship
you
has
just
been
didn't
destroyed.
need to.
Our
If you
shields
just
have
waited
failed.
for guardians,
Our ship
and
is
look at this.
lost.
Despite
Armor
all
is
of that,
compromised.
because
We won't last
disciples
long.
cream
We are exiles
disciples
no longer.
destroy Conrax so hard, you're able. Actually, I didn't even realize you had like 100 disciples here. You're actually able to like do all. Imagine if instead of 4 caps, four of those caps, you had like 20 extra guardians. You lose almost nothing here. Okay, but instead of losing all your capitals.
An allied world has fallen to the
Well,
enemy.
hey, you know what? This was still a better trade than it should have been. You guys do manage to kill 2 of his caps as well. I don't think you guys will get this necessarily get this egg. Oh no, he's got stuck because he went the wrong way.
Place your bids, you scallywag.
So actually, if you guys get the egg, it's actually worth. But yeah, so you guys will get that egg. No one's been watching this.
One of
And
our allies reports that they have
this
built a
Titan
new
now
type of
is
warship.
going to be a bit of a problem because there's nothing you guys have that can kill this. Like,
The Unity senses that an enemy has finished a powerful warship. Our forces have engaged the enemy.
but
Harmony research
still a better
complete. Civilian
trade than
structure
it should have been.
complete. Logistics
And
upgrade complete.
now you're going towards tier 4. You can't use the
Civilian
looms anymore
structure
because now you have to
complete.
fight a Titan. And I will say tier 4 is the right call.
An allied capital ship has been
But
destroyed.
you are going to take a while to get the
Civilian
comp you
structure
need to fight this
complete.
Titan. I just don't think you have the time.
Hostility research
What
tier
is the
complete.
comp to fight this Titan?
Harmony research
It's not the
complete.
Erotica,
You've made a wise acquisition.
okay?
An allied world
It's
has
the
fallen
Domina
to
and the
enemy.
Destras. Okay? Domina's to drain all the antimatter, Destras to do the DPS. Because this Ankyllon, otherwise, it just mauls all your other stuff and just doesn't die. Because, well, but here's the good news. Oh, he does have Furious Defense. I saw Furious Defense over here. Actually, it is bad. Not good news. So yeah, fortunately, I think you just don't, whatever you have that you're going for, is not going to be able to deal with the
Civilian
Ankyllon.
structure complete. Civilian structure complete.
So
An
yeah, and
auction
now Orange
is
does the right thing,
underway.
starts pressuring you with the Ankyllon, and I think this game is kind of over from the looks of it. Now you and Chris do realize that you guys can't fight the Ankyllon at least,
An allied
so you
world
guys
has fallen
wisely
to the
retreat
enemy.
with your
Research
fleet.
rate upgrade
I like that
complete.
you have a lot
An
more
allied world has
guardians
fallen to
now,
the
but
enemy.
once again, you don't have a single point in cleanse yet, which is one of the most broken spells for Reborn. and you're kind of getting the old school Reborn spells, which these are not I mean, they're useful, but they gone once again actually nerfed comparatively since the last patch. Why? They are super expensive in focus costs. Okay, 200 focus for recall, 300 for sanctify. Whereas if you look over here, right, this is just 100 to clean AOE heal. And what did you just say around about the Ankylound earlier? You said don't fight it because it's AOE damage. So again, you kind of like know what the tech side of stuff is, but you are not recognizing where the admin tools are to counter that. So you do pick up shield burst. You definitely want, once again, as I said, if you see the Ankylound, you want to kill it. You want Dominus, you want antimatter, you want the nullify, you want the Destros, you want the plasma damage. Those are all going to be very like important. But as I said, I think it's just not going to have much time.
Desecrators assault our world.
So
Mining upgrade
Arm
complete.
is kind of doing
Destination
the
visualized.
right thing,
Defilers
going towards
encroach
you
upon us.
ASAP.
Destination
You guys
visualized.
have a bunch of stuff here to try to fight. Pink, I think this is winnable for you. I don't think you should have needed to run.
Harmony research
Oh,
complete.
okay, you went back. Okay, seemed like there was some miscommunication.
An allied capital ship has been destroyed. Our forces have engaged the enemy.
We cannot survive without
It just
armor.
looks like
The
miscommunication.
shields are offline.
Like you guys don't have are not on the same page. with what
Desecrators
you guys
assault
want
our
to do.
world.
I think you guys could have killed that. Could have
An
killed Pink.
allied
You guys
world has
group
fallen to the enemy.
and start pushing back, but oh, and skip also.
Harmony research complete. Civilian structure complete. Desecrators assault our world.
And
An allied
yeah,
world
so
has
I do
fallen to
think
the
that
enemy.
Orange is
Research rate
doing the
upgrade
right thing.
complete.
He's basically
Civilian structure
going
complete.
for your home world.
Sacrifice begun. The Unity's needs have changed.
We are entertaining offers.
Oh, he killed all your
Sacrifice
Unity
begun.
abilities.
The Unity's needs have changed.
You are
Either
the
that or
winning
you blew
bidder.
him up.
Civilian structure complete.
And now he's retreating his
Hostility
stuff
research
for-
complete.
I mean,
Hostility research
reasons.
tier complete. Harmony research complete.
Alright,
An allied world
so
has fallen to the enemy.
I think this is a good time to stop because, yeah, this game goes on for like another. Holy moly, this game goes on for another 2 hours somehow, even though, in my opinion, it's already over. Like, red is already on your eco, pushed all the way into your eco player. Teal is practically dead to purple. So this side is essentially lost. This side is lost too, I think. So yeah, there's really what it comes down to is where your key stuff are, not Vigilus. Just yeah, Vigilus is not the counter to Conrax. Okay, once again, Disciples are the counter to Conrax. So not Tempests. I don't even know why you're researching Tempests at the moment. Instead, you're going tier 3, tier 4, then for the Ankylound, Dominus, Destros, not the Eradicator, or Erotica for either. Here, way too late for ties at this point. I'm glad you picked these up. Definitely, once again, pick up Sanctuary Spire. I think Homeworld Prophecy is very good, so it's good on you to pick those up. These are okay. You're already in tier 3 Civil. Yeah, you could grab them, but tier 3 Civil, I wouldn't have bothered. If I am doing tier 3 Civil, it would actually be for Soul Reclamation. And then what I do is Soul Reclamation, Resurrection Unity, because essentially you can infinite fleet from this. Everything you lose, you get the focus for it. You pop Resurrection, you get it all back. Okay, so that is a combo you could do with tier 3 Civil. If you are going subcaps, which Reborn I think plays very well with subcaps. So yeah, something to just consider. So hopefully this was some stuff that was helpful. I do think this game was very messy, very sloppy, so it's hard to commentate specifically on just what are things that would change, because some of the mistakes you've made kind of snowball so quickly out of control that like further mistakes, they're hard to be like, well, you could be doing this and this, because realistically you're at a state where you can't really do it anyway if your opponent doesn't let you anymore. Like nothing you can do can stop this Ankylon from just deciding to kill you. If Orange just built some more siege frigates, but yeah, but instead, I mean, well, I guess White came here to save you with the Ragnarok and 33 Olgraf, so that's a good thing. I mean, you're safe from the Ankylon thanks to that, but they could have basically won your side a lot earlier. So yeah, happy to review another game if you have in one where you get a bit more familiar with the Advent tech tree, the Advent choices. Does seem like you are, yeah, you mentioned you are very new to Advent, so it definitely shows. So yeah, till next time, bye.